gonna do 300 through Foxhole. No, why not? The curb at Nürburgring. On the gas. Hello everyone and welcome to a very first sim racing video of 2026, and a very special one, namely probably the one that has been the most requested by the sim racing community on my channel when it comes to comparing the Nürburgring to the real life. Because so far I've driven mostly Assetto Corsa titles, iRacing, but many of you have asked me to compare or give my opinion on Gran Turismo 7 that my fellow teammate Super GT Steve Alvarez Brown is known for using and making content about. Unfortunately, I do not have a PlayStation 5. I do have a PlayStation 4 from very back in the days, but basically do not have a PS5. But I have borrowed one from someone to actually make this particular video. So in today's video, I will be giving you a bit of my opinion on the Nordschleife version of Gran Turismo 7, how it compares to real life, the general physics, and first of all, we need to change this now that I'm looking at it. The Fanatec BMW GT steering wheel, the same steering wheel that you find on our GT4 from last year and year before. Not sure if this is going to fit on the car of 2026, but that's a story for another time, for very soon, so stay tuned for that. But we need to replace that with, of course, with the PlayStation dedicated steering wheel of Fanatec to match the base. And voila, while it is activating, I forgot completely what I was saying. But yeah, we'll be driving today the Gran Turismo with... it's already working, fantastic. We'll be using Xiaomi SU7 Ultra. The reason behind this is because one of the very first videos of 2026 was my lap record analysis, and many of you really loved it. And I said, I really want to drive this car on the Nürburgring. It has been the most requested car to try to drive by me on the channel. Last year I had an offer, but it was wet and damp, so I want to drive it in the dry. And since the track is close by now, let's see how it performs in Gran Turismo, because Gran Turismo, it is one of the OGs benchmarking realistic sims from back in the days, because they really replicated the cars and the tracks before it was cool or before it was mainstream. So I'm sure Xiaomi has worked very hard to make this car as realistic as possible, and from what I have read, it's actually the very first Chinese car to be featured in Gran Turismo franchise. And they're also the very first Chinese car to break the Nürburgring lap record for a four-seater, 704. So let's see if I can maybe do sub 7. Probably not, but yeah. All right, so we're not going to change cars because the cars are already good enough. We're gonna run time trial. We're gonna use Nordschleife. Should we go TF? No, because I want to see how my driving skills on GT7 would compare against real life. So we'll just go ahead and proceed. Let's drive in the morning. Yeah, in the afternoon. Maybe it's like gonna be a bit more cloudy and maybe a bit more warm, that the track is warming up. So let's go. I guess just start. We have a time trial. We have data logger. 1526 brake horsepower on 1628 kilograms. It's actually pretty lightweight for an EV. Now that I think about it, it's insane lightweight. It's actually lighter than some internal combustion engine cars of today's. So, you're right. Well, what do I do? Is this like, no, not exit. We press on start. So, oh, the car's accelerating already by itself. I think I should go on the brake. All right, so first impression. Okay, we have also the traction control setting. Let's switch it off completely because we like a challenge. All right, off we go. On the brakes very early, much more early, through the Sabine Schmitz curve, lots of understeer because I went way too fast through there, trying to catch the car while I'm driving. To the 2 kilometer sign on the brakes, close to the curb, on the gas. So far, all the details I'm seeing when it comes to the traffic signs, traffic lights, the marshals, it's very realistic. The tire wall there should be closer to the track. Here we have a curb. It felt not 100% authentic as a real one, but so far what I'm seeing is actually quite good. Right, off we go on the gas towards the Flugplatz. I know the real car hit like 270, and so do we. Early on the gas, we do not have the jump from pre-2016 when they changed it, so that's good. Can we hit 300? Scary. Flat. There's a bit of a jump, just like in the real world scenario, so that's very close. We've gone a bit more earlier on the brakes. I like the tarmac visuals. Oh, Xiaomi advertisement, like it has been placed last year in 2025. So that's all close and realistic. Oh, we're gonna do 300 through Foxhole. Oh, no, why not? On the brakes. Can we take the curb? I don't know if the curb, it doesn't match the real new Foxhole curb that they've installed 2 years ago. So that's one of the things that's not correct. But most of the elevation changes, all the bumps, all the jumps, all the all the features of the track are actually no. Okay, I think the damage is off for people like me, so that's good. Also, another thing that I have noticed to be completely compliant with the realism features. So we have the Xiaomi advertisement in Foxhole, which has been installed last year, but also the corner names were changed from Yokohama as a sponsor. You can see on the left, there was Yokohama, the corner name signs, they were changed to Falcon tires since last year. So that's a new addition that is not yet featured in the game. Right, early on the brakes, we're missing Nankang advertisement on the right here as well. Should we think that there's a specific reason why it's missing there? I don't know, could be license. Oh, the left, that was scary. Okay, going. What I'm missing from visual points so far actually are the marshal post numbers, the small white signs that you would actually see. Way too fast. Also on the real life lap scenario, the driver was lifting through there. We're gonna hit 300 through here, that's insane. And paying the price. Yeah, that's a write-off. That's a big write-off. We're gonna use a NASCAR move now. The curb at Nürburgring. Okay, let's turn around. The exit curb at Nürburgring should be also closer. Oof, I think the tires are overheated. The curb at Nürburgring should be closer to the barrier. Also here we're missing a bit of exit curb. So those are actually like very small features that I am noticing when it comes to the realism of the track, just some visual aspects. What I really like, if we speak about Gran Turismo in particular, is that the dimension of the track is the same. The elevation and all the bumps and jumps are near identical to the real thing. So therefore, that's actually more important than having small sign there or not having it there, because for you, if you want to practice the track in Gran Turismo to learn the real thing, this is very close to the real thing regarding the visual aspects and regarding the elevation changes, the undulations, thanks to the laser scan technology. Okay, going into Brunchen. Coming up. Brunchen 1. Turning in. Yeah, as we are approaching the end of the lap, I will have to do one more because I really messed up in Nürburgring, where I will focus more on what I think of the car and how it performs. Exit curb in Foxhole is not identical to the real thing. We're gonna jump here, brakes, turn in, turning in. Interestingly enough, there's an old advertisement of that's not there anymore at Floods Garden. Good. Good. Oop. Okay. Spicy. Not 100% great. Spicy. Spicy. I haven't checked the interface of Gran Turismo when it comes to this like green red, because now I'm looking at it and sorry, at the red flashing dash. I wouldn't know what it means. Is it like because we're like maximizing the power that we can see ABS signs? I don't know. Steve maybe can tell me in the comments what it is. All right, off we go. We're gonna go for a second lap. First, of course, we're gonna hit the main straight. The car in real life has 350 kilometers per hour top speed, and it looks like we're gonna hit it. Can we keep it flat under the Bilstein Bridge? Well, let's see. Well, speaking of which, it actually says Bilstein and not way ahead. So again, so should we go on the brakes? Yeah, maybe let's go on the brakes. All right. Okay, so actually we almost managed a sub-7 lap. So I guess if we do not mess up in mid curve, we can do a sub-7. All right, let's do it. So now let's talk more about the car itself. It's a very powerful 1500 horsepower, and therefore it's more than double the power than your average car. So you completely need to relearn the braking inputs that you would usually use when it comes to visuals, like beginning of the curb, certain signs, traffic signs, etc. Here it's a completely different story. You need to start braking so early, it's insane. In this case, I'm running with no TC. I do not know how it affects the handling, and that was a good catch. The handling, but also whether torque vectoring of the SU7 Ultra is replicated. Oh, we're actually going faster, even with a bit of a... No! Oh, we have a ghost car. Let's try that again. Retry. Alright, now we're gonna focus on actually driving the car. You may wonder why there is all of a sudden a cut and most likely change in video quality. That is because the camera I was recording on previously overheated and we could not complete the second lap. And I was also not wearing my gloves, so we should do it again. No, let's try to go again, tell you more about the car, my driving impressions, and also try to go sub-7. So without any further ado, restart the drive. We're gonna drop the traction control to 0 because we like to live our life in exciting ways. This accelerating feature before the start by Gran Turismo is quite interesting. All right, so SU7 Ultra, over 1500 horsepower. The first thing that you need to do is relearn the way you drive a car. Forget everything about you knew about driving a particular track, in this case the Nürburgring, because thanks to 1500 plus horsepower, the braking distances become so much longer because you're approaching braking zones and apexes with significantly higher speeds. And this is something that you saw also on the lap record video. In real life, the driver had to go on the brakes much more, had to coast a lot more because the speeds were really insane. And the corner speeds actually were also not too bad. When I compare them with the real life, with the traditional scenarios, it's really not that bad. So here, acceleration, 270 kilometers per hour, pretty crazy. We go on the brakes a bit earlier, bleeding off the brakes, 180, but we could have gone faster, and that's actually a very decent speed in the real life. Now, one feature I do not know whether Gran Turismo has implemented in the digital version of SU7 Ultra is the torque vectoring that allows the car to rotate, to be stable, to have very good turn-in and traction input. But I guess to a certain extent, probably yes. Right, the fact that the car can do 300 through Foxhole Not something I would want to try to do in real life. Also in real life, during the real life record, lap record, I believe the driver didn't go even above 250. Because even though if the car can do it, I doubt that the tires can survive a compression by hitting the car at 300 plus kilometers per hour. You're gonna definitely have a blowout, probably. And if not, shout out to Michelin Cup 2Rs. So I believe that don't talk and drive at the same time. Yeah, I guess. Well, we're still ahead of the other car of my previous Ghost, so it's actually not that bad. So let's try to stay ahead. And in this case, if I'm gonna set this up 7-minute lap time, and I'm gonna tell you, send me your lap times. Do not send me nudes. Send me your Nürburgring lap times. And you're gonna tell me I've beaten you on Gran Turismo. I'm gonna say like, yeah, it's because you didn't crash. If I didn't crash, I would be faster too. Always have a driver excuse in your pocket, ready to go. It's the most important thing about being a race car driver. Yeah. Right. Again, acceleration is insane. Here we have to go much earlier on the brakes, like now. Usually you brake like somewhere at the end of the curb or slightly before that, but now, okay, missed the apex completely. Because me talking and driving at the same time is not the best. Well, maybe in real life with slower cars it's okay, but with this, it's something special. Oh no, we gotten past, but I know the corner entry was not that great previously, so come on. We had a better exit, so, but here it's going to be challenging. We need to lift off a bit and on the gas again. On the gas. Let's not hit 300 through here. Yep, that's where it went very wrong previously for me, and we are actually going 200 through mud curve. That's very impressive. Tires are absolutely on the limit. Oh, why did I let go of the brake? Come on. Missed the apex completely. Again, need to completely relearn because of the speeds you're doing. I need to also be a bit more quiet, maybe, and focus more on the driving. But so far we are ahead of the Ghost car. We should be able to do the sub 7. I know Jimmy Brabant recently done a live stream, actually also driving this car, so I do not know what kind of lap times he was doing. And how many mistakes he made, because this is a big challenge. If he made no mistakes, then Jimmer, don't look into the camera. While you always keep your eyes on the roads, kids. Always keep your eyes on the roads. But we're still ahead of the other car, so we are going to assume that we're still on our way to the sub 7-minute lap. And I think that Xiaomi in real life also can do sub 7, because I know that they were back again after they've done a lap record, but they couldn't drive because the weather was bad. And the question is, why would you be back if you already done a good lap time? Yes, probably because you want to break the sub 7-minute mark to be the first 4-seated car that has done such a significant feature. All right, Flans Garden, easy. Not sure if I mentioned to you, because I mentioned it previously on the lap where my camera overheated, that I like the way the dashboard and everything has been replicated by Gran Turismo of this car with the G-force meter. So we're just missing the real-life data input, like the tire pressures and whether there's a torque vectoring distribution. Do not look into the camera and talk at the same time. Okay, we had, I think, so far 3 crashes. And if we still can do a sub 7, then I call it an actual, even extra impressive win. So let's try. We are now slightly over 6 minutes before the straight. Technically, it should be possible. We have a wind, I guess. That shows the meter per second, the wind speed. So we're staying close to the trees. so we will not have any wind gust. Keeping it flat through here, in real life I would not do that probably. On the brakes, flat, 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 settling the car, balancing, 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 turning in, 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 come on, hello, that was the starting line usually, 651, with 3 crashes. So, if this car is like in Gran Turismo, is a proper representation of the real life, but what I've seen in terms of speeds on the straights before the driver had to back off, it can definitely do a sub-7 in real life. I am much more curious to try it out in real life, but also much more scared. And that's actually, you know, again, good to try out a car on the sim before you do the real thing, because you'll be surprised. Yeah, you'll be surprised. Anyway, I guess, what's the conclusion? I like the Gran Turismo 7, the GT7, because it is actually very realistic when it comes to track dimensions, track features. It's missing a couple of visual representations, some markers, some graffiti on the track. But there are many sim titles or games that call themselves sim titles that get many of these aspects wrong. I start driving it, and in a certain corner, even after trying it for 100 times, I do not get it right because it's just really not exact copy. In this case, actually everything was pretty much spot on, so good job by Gran Turismo. When it comes to the car, insane, impressive, scary. So I'd like to try it in real life, so hopefully this season, definitely. We just need to find the right weather. And it will be interesting to see if Xiaomi is going to be back and to do a sub-7 on the Nürburgring. But judging by this, and 3 crashes, with magic gloves, you can do it. So yeah, that's all there is to it. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and looking forward to seeing your lap times actually in the comments of SU7. If you have a Gran Turismo 7, SU7, Gran Turismo 7, is that a coincidence?